Chapter 12 covers lifestyle management. Your wellness is largely under your personal control. We now know through much research that behaviors regarding diet and physical activity and handling stress, smoking, whether you drink or drink too much, those behaviors have a profound influence on the risk for chronic or non-communicable diseases. Practicing good health habits is very, very important for healthcare workers. This is because working in healthcare can be stressful, both physically and emotionally, and being well and being fit enables you to handle that stress better. Healthcare professionals are also role models for their patients. And patient education is becoming a larger part of a healthcare worker's responsibility. So you need to be able to talk to your patients about how to live a healthy life. We know that being willing to change behavior is the first step. So the first thing you have to do is decide that you want to change behavior. But we also know that change is not easy, but you need to be patient. Changes don't happen overnight, and you need to also set reasonable or realistic goals. Small steps matter. Focus on the positive. Think about how you'll feel, the things you'll be able to do, how your health will benefit. And it is very important to track progress either in a written form or using an app. Individuals who keep track do a much better job in terms of sticking with these behavioral changes. Rewards are important, but you have to choose your rewards appropriately. Now let's start by talking about diet and nutrition. A lot of people are confused about what these terms mean. We know that how you eat, the choices you make, have a strong impact on your health. Not only that, but how you eat, the choices you make, will provide you with energy and a feeling of well-being, so you'll notice a change almost immediately. Diet is a term that refers to the food choices you make, what you eat. It doesn't necessarily mean a diet for weight loss or another reason. Diet simply refers to what you eat. And nutrition is not only the process, but the field of studying food and its effect on health and growth. Nutrients are the substances that your body uses to grow and function, and a well-balanced, adequate diet provides all those necessary nutrients. So let's look at a few. Proteins contain amino acids, and proteins are necessary for building and maintaining structural components of the body. They're also very important for your immune system. So it is important that individuals get enough protein, but we have to make clear that if you consume too much protein, that extra protein can be changed into and stored as fat. Carbohydrates are what the body uses for energy, and they're very important and usually the biggest part of a diet. And fats not only are a good source of energy, but we now know that there are healthy fats that are very, very beneficial to our health, and there are less healthy fats. So on the list you see in front of you, nuts and avocados, eggs, and fish are some of the healthier versions of fatty foods. Vitamins are substances in food that are essential for growth, health, and life, along with minerals. Vitamins are organic, minerals are inorganic, and water is essential for life, and in fact the most essential nutrient, in that without water for about a week a human being will die. So water makes up about 2/3 of the human body weight. Which of the following classes of nutrients provides the body with immediate energy? Take a guess. If you guessed carbohydrates, your answer was correct. So let's talk about some other substances that you find in a diet. Fiber is very important, and most Americans don't consume enough fiber. It can maintain healthy GI tract, but it also contributes to health in other ways by decreasing blood sugar and blood cholesterol, decreasing the risk of colon cancer. Very important that we get enough fiber, and we find that in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, and seeds. Calories are a measure of the amount of energy that a food can provide, and you see there some basic nutrition math. Gram of carb has 4, protein has 4, fat has 9. We need calories. The average amount that Americans need is about 2,000 calories per day. If we consume too many calories, we store that extra energy as fat. If we consume too few, we turn to our fat or body stores to provide that energy. There's been a lot of attention on processed food. Processed food tends to be high in sodium, also trans fats, which are very unhealthy for us. And processed foods also can be very high in sugar. We want to eat fewer processed foods. They've been linked to a number of chronic health problems. Americans eat a lot of processed foods. We talk about cholesterol too. It's a fat-like substance, and cholesterol can clog our arteries and contribute to heart disease. The major dietary substance that increases your blood cholesterol is trans fat. Next on the list is saturated fat. Sodium is another harmful substance in the diet if we consume too much. It's very high in processed foods. We need some sodium, but when we consume too much, it can contribute to high blood pressure and also impact our linings of our blood vessels and make them more rigid, which is not a good thing. So it's helpful to have some guidelines for how to put your foods together into a diet. Choose MyPlate is a method that was put out by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. It shows the types of foods you should have in a diet every day and also their proportions. One of the main topics here or messages is that fruits and vegetables should be about half of your plate. We're going to use the Choose My Plate website in class. It's at choosemyplate.gov, and you'll also use it for your response to this mini lecture. Choosemyplate.gov is loaded with information. These are the major food groups. This is how you would put that together to make a healthy meal. These proportions are much different than many Americans are used to. It's 3/4 plant foods, 1/4 animal food, which is again quite different, and has been shown repeatedly that a plant-based diet is beneficial for health. So let's talk about some types of diets. Low salt and reduced salt diets are common for high blood pressure, but we now know that to decrease blood pressure, there are more factors involved than just decreasing salt. Low-fat diets have more or less gone out of favor because we're quite aware that moderate amounts of healthy fat are good for your health. Vegetarian diets can be very healthy. They need to be planned carefully so that you get all the nutrients you need. This is especially true with the vegan diet, which is only plant-based foods. Lacto-vegetarian includes milk. Lacto-ovo includes milk and eggs. A flexitarian is a diet that looks like a vegetarian diet but has a bit of fish or perhaps even meat and poultry. These are plant-based diets, and these are very, very healthy for us. With variety, you can get all the nutrients you need. One of the most healthy diets out there is the DASH diet. It was designed to decrease blood pressure and does so, but the DASH diet, being very rich in plant foods, also has a number of other health effects. The Mediterranean diet is DASH-like, very high in whole plant foods, healthy oils, very little red meat. More fish, but not overboard on fish. And that's it. Be sure to complete your response that follows this mini lecture on your Canvas course.